Hi, my name is Georgia Taylor. I go to Oak Bay High School and I'm in Mr. McKenzie's grade 10 English class. Recently, we've been studying Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. Today, I will be talking about Shakespeare's life and one of the most significant scenes from his play, Romeo and Juliet. Shakespeare's Times. Shakespeare lived during the Elizabethan age. The monarchs during this time were James I and Elizabeth I. During his times, England was establishing itself as one of the most powerful countries in Europe. London had become a huge city and had a population increase of 400%. Many new poets, musicians, and writers emerged during this time, and soon literature was widespread due to the invention of the printing press. With so many new inventions and new literature, the Elizabethan age was an exciting time to be alive. William Shakespeare's Life. William Shakespeare was an English poet, playwright, and actor. He is considered by many to be the greatest English writer of all time, and his plays have greatly influenced the world of literature. William Shakespeare was born in 1564 in Stratford-upon-Avon, England. He married young, at 18, to Anne Hathaway, and they had 3 children together. At first, Shakespeare was a poet, but he later switched to writing plays. He could write amazing plays using his vast vocabulary and had an ability to write a story that was relatable. He wrote 37 plays during his life. Some of his most well-known plays are Hamlet, Macbeth, A Midsummer Night's Dream, and Romeo and Juliet. Even though Shakespeare died in 1616, his plays are so timeless and revolutionary that they are still studied almost 500 years later. Shakespeare's Theater, the Globe. Shakespeare's Theater was called the Globe. It was built around 1599. The theater was circular in shape and made of wood. It contained different levels, each level for people of a different social status. 4 flags hung in the globe at all times. 3 of the flags were used to show what type of play was being performed. A white flag would be hung if a comedy was playing, a black for a tragedy, and a red flag for a political play. The 4th flag was hung at all times and was a picture of Atlas holding up the world. This flag represented the Globe Theater. Written on the flag was the line, "All the world is a playhouse." Significant passage from the play. The scene where Romeo and Juliet first meet and fall in love is very significant because it illustrates the overall theme of the play, which is family conflict. Romeo and Juliet is a play about 2 star-crossed lovers who fall in love despite their warring families. The scene at the Capulets' ball is important because this is where they first discover their love for each other, but also that they come from families who hate each other. In the scene, Juliet's family, the Capulets, are throwing a masquerade party at their mansion. Romeo, the son of their enemy Montague, has snuck into the party and has spied Juliet. It is love at first sight, and Romeo goes over to speak to Juliet. They initiate in a witty flirtation where Romeo acts as a sinner and Juliet as saint. He says that she must purge him of his sin with a kiss. They kiss, but are interrupted by Juliet's nurse. She says that Juliet is wanted by her mother. They part, and Romeo asks the nurse who Juliet's mother is. He learns that she is a Capulet and is very upset by this news. This scene foreshadows more family conflict to come, and it certainly does. After this scene, Romeo and Juliet's love intensifies, and they wed without their family's knowledge. Unfortunately, Romeo is banished because he gets into a fight with and kills one of the Capulets. Juliet devises a plan for her to fake her own death so she and Romeo can run away together, but it fails, resulting in her and Romeo taking their own lives. How this passage represents the theme. This passage greatly illustrates the overall theme of the play, which is family conflict. The Prince of Verona has already informed the families at this point that there is to be no more fighting between the houses, or Montague and Capulet will be killed. Romeo and Juliet are going to cause much family conflict and fighting, though, by falling in love. By falling in love in this scene, they doom many of their friends and family to death because their secret love causes many fights. If they hadn't fallen in love, the friction between the 2 families would not have increased. But if they hadn't fallen in love, the families would have never ended their feud. This passage shows how strong the hatred between the 2 families is and how hard it is for Romeo and Juliet to be in love when they are supposed to hate each other. Thank you for listening to my presentation.